Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Serrano. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an iconic phone. In my opinion, this phone has done a lot for the smartphone game, not only just for Android, but it's also pushed, other companies to develop and kind of keep up with the smartphone game, right? In the industry. And we're going to be talking about this guy right here. This is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10, and it does have 5G support. It has S Pen support with Bluetooth capabilities. Like you could control the camera with it. You could take a lot of notes with it. It's going to be a really solid phone in 2022. And the cool thing is this guy did just get Android 12, which is pretty crazy because that's the latest software right now. Obviously, there's going to be Android 13 coming, 14, 15, and so on, 16. And that's what some of the phones that have been currently released are good for, is that if you're the type of person who relies on updates and you're looking for a phone that's going to get Android 16 from here till now, you might want to get a newer smartphone. But if you're just looking for something with all the great performance, all the features that a lot of the phones are offering still at a low price point under $500, then the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 5G has been really solid in a lot of ways. But I'm going to get into everything that I like about this device. We're going to get into the cameras. We're going to get into the hardware, the build quality. We're going to get into the display, which is going to be one of the best parts about it. Also the S Pen. And then we're just going to jump into the overall thoughts and at the end of the video. So make sure you guys stay locked in with me from now until the end of the video, right? Because that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to touch on all those different topics. But the first thing I wanted to do is talk about the build quality. But if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through and kicking it with me. And I encourage you to subscribe and get notified for more videos just like this. But if you're still here, just type below in the comment section, I'm still here. I definitely appreciate you for staying locked in with me. But we're going to just jump into the overall build quality of this device. Now, this device is really solid. It's going to have a beautiful Super AMOLED display, and it's going to be rocking like a 1080 panel on here times 2280, and it's going to have a large pixel density of 400 ppi, very high density. So it's definitely going to be really colorful, really bright, especially when you're going to notice that when you're outdoors, when you're using the device, because it gets extremely bright. And it does also get bright even when you dull down the brightness at nighttime, when you're trying to just like save your eyes from looking at the screen. So really beautiful display on here. We also do have curved glass, which is really nice. It has like this metal body on here, and the S Pen is on the bottom. You do get dual speakers, one on the bottom, one in the earpiece. Type C for charge, and a microphone down below and up top. And above top, you also do get your SIM card slot, which you can, expand. You can expand the storage with this guy, but this is the one with 8 gigabytes of RAM. 256 for the storage, so it's got a lot of storage on here. So really crazy, because the base model was offered at 256, which was really cool. I think like all companies should actually keep that option available in the future, and just kind of like keep the base option at that point, because if you're not going to put a tray for your SD card, micro SIM or micro card, then obviously you want to keep the phone with the most amount of storage as possible. So it's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 for the internal storage, which is really solid. And then we're also going to get into the cameras as well. But we do have a 13, 12, and 16 around back, and a 10 around front. We can record in 4K 60 on the front and the rear. And we also do have on the back of this guy is a really solid glass. It's Gorilla Glass 6. So we get like a combination of really nice metal and really nice strong glass. Now, as far as the Gorilla Glass 6, it does dent on the screen. I did notice that it does have some micro, not dents, but like micro scratches that come in a level 7, 2, and 8. So I just want to make that clear that unless you put a screen protector on here, it's gonna scratch no matter what, no matter how cautious you are. And obviously I did throw a case on here. I have the spec case right here that I use, and it's been really sturdy. I do use this case. It has a lot of grip to it. It's the Spec Grip case, and it's been really good for me. So overall build quality out of a 10, I would give this thing probably a 10 out of a 10 when it comes to build quality. It just feels really solid. And like I said in my unboxing video, which I'll leave up here, Jerry Rig Everything has this guy, and he still uses the plus version of this guy. So, you know, it just shows you how good of a phone it is. Ultrasonic in-display fingerprint sensor, which is going to be extremely quick when you're using the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. You also do have, I remember the Note 8 had the iris sensor. I still have the Note 8, but this guy just has that facial ID. I think they got rid of the iris sensor on here, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But the Note 8 had that. And this guy is tuned with Dolby Atmos AKG audio. So it's going to have extremely good sound quality with the stereo speakers on board here. And as far as the performance, this is the Snapdragon 855, which is probably one of the best in the industry. We have IP68 water resistancy on this guy, so it's going to be really solid for taking outdoors in heavy harsh conditions, even work conditions, right? If it's raining, you take it out in the water, obviously natural water, but not salt water, or else it'll ruin the components of the inner components of the phone. If you put it in salt water, it'll get in there and contaminate the circuit boards. But we do have the Snapdragon 855, which is actually held up really solid. It's got a really nice speed to it. It still feels really quick. It feels like there's no lag on it whatsoever. Everything is really snappy on here. NFC is on board. We have DeX as well, so you can get Samsung DeX on here, as far as basically like hooking this guy up to a monitor or some type of TV and just watching your content. You could definitely do that on here. So it's got a lot of advanced features: the Samsung DeX, the Android Audio, the Quick Share. You can continue apps on other devices linked to Windows. This phone has the S Pen, which is probably the main feature that I would go with if I'm trying to pick up this phone, because obviously LG's jumped out of the smartphone game, and I was the type of person who liked my LG Stylo phones, right? But you can get either one from Moto or you can get one from Samsung, and I feel like Samsung has mastered. LG was kind of trying to do what Samsung was doing, but Moto's now trying to do what LG's doing. But I feel like as far as the pen software, they got it down packed, because when you take out the pen out of the phone, you're getting all these features on the side: create a note, view all notes, smart select, screen write, live message, AR doodle, translate, and then you can get your shortcuts to your other apps. So this has been a really solid experience. Now, the one part about this phone that you might want to consider is that the battery life will get you through a whole day, but it's not gonna be like a 2-day phone. You're gonna have a 3,500 milliamp hour battery on this phone, so the battery will be pretty decent. It'll last you a day. Sometimes I did notice that if I used the phone for a long time, I would get barely a day on here. So I just want to mention that the battery isn't as good as my Google Pixel 6. It's definitely not as good as the Google Pixel 6, but it does hold up well after 2 years, especially if you get like a renewed version of the phone. It's not going to have like 100% battery health or whatever right out of the box, right? But the 6.3 display is really big, in my opinion. It has a really large display ratio. There's barely any chin or forehead on this guy, with the punch hole cut out in the center, and you get your always on display on here. So, but if you want to save battery, you could turn that off. This guy has pretty much every feature except for a high refresh rate display. So it's going to be, a 60 hertz display. So for some reason that just doesn't bother me. It doesn't seem, because of the speed on here and the overall performance, it's not something that I get, stressed out about on this device not having, because it's been really solid. You get your navigation bar, so you could switch it to the most recent, or you could do the buttons, right? So they got some really cool features on here. Like I said before, always on display will show you all your notifications. It'll basically do that for you. You can customize it inside of the settings menu, and you get wallpaper and style, which will let you customize the color of the wallpapers and your highlighted color palette on the back of it, which is kind of cool. So I kind of like that with the Android 12 with the One UI 4.0. It's really clean and really quick, really nice layout, and you know, for the most part I have no issues with it. And then you could also get your you know, that sidebar thing, like that you could use the sidebar on this phone as well. And if you go into, you know, advanced features, or they have more features on here that you could always just find and kind of, you know, pick up. But you know, so far this device has been really solid with the this one actually has 12 gigabytes of RAM. I noticed, not the 8, but it actually has 12 gigabytes of RAM. So I might have said 8, but this has the 12 gigabytes of RAM with the 256 gigabytes, and it's been holding up real well. But you know, overall I could definitely recommend this device. The photos have been really solid, the performance has been extremely clean, so I haven't had any issues when I just want to take a really nice photo. It does have its moments when you try to focus in on objects, but if you're in the correct lighting conditions and you have the right distance away from the object, it will have 9 times out of 10 you're going to take a really good photo with this guy. But let me know what you guys think about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 after, you know, 2 years. You know, I definitely like, this is probably my favorite color that they ever made from Samsung, in the red, because it's that dark candy apple red. It's got that really nice color to it, depending on what light you throw it in, right? But hopefully you guys did find this video helpful. This has been my experience so far. I'm gonna definitely be using this guy a little bit more and checking it out for here on the channel. But I definitely, my first impressions after about, you know, a solid 2 to 3 weeks with this thing is definitely been holding up really well, right? So I've been using this guy for about 3 weeks now, and overall it's been really solid. I'm extremely impressed with Samsung One UI, and also Android 12 has been pretty decent on here. It's not the same as you would get with the Pixel, because you can see the icons are small, and they didn't do what Google did. The icons are a lot smaller, they're not as bubbly, and they managed to make the highlighted colors, you know, have that customization as well. Really customizable, really straightforward, but also extremely sturdy. It's got a really nice sturdy feel in the hand, especially when you throw a case on it. And then that S Pen, I'm always using that for typing notes, you know, sketching, even jotting down ideas in the snap of a finger. So it comes in handy, especially when you get your grocery lists right before you're about to leave the house and things like that. Take down a phone number or a new contact, right? But let me know what you guys think about the Note 10 after two years. This has been my experience after using it for about 3 weeks. But hopefully you guys have had a good experience with the Note 10. Let me know what your experience has been like, and make sure you leave a comment down below. And if you're still here, make sure you say "still here" down in the comment section, so I know you stay locked into the end of the video. But I'm gonna come back right with you, and I'm gonna get right back with you with more videos just like this. So make sure you subscribe and get notified for more videos, and I'm gonna check you guys later. Peace.